Hey guys, welcome back. It is Vortie here, and we're going to be talking about the news that just came out literally this morning. It's good stuff for global, actually, and the reason I'm a little bit hesitant to kind of talk is because we just we just got news about 7 stars and super trust masteries based on what the JP version is getting right now during their FanFesta event. And I posted a video about it already, kind of like my thoughts. It's like a mini rant, not really a big deal or anything, but that kind of has everything else overshadowed right now. I mean, like, I'm sure you guys feel the same way. The things right now, it's like I said in my other video too, it's really hard to kind of gauge what's going to happen to the global version based on what's happening in the JP version right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. But in the meantime, we do have some good news coming to the global. The first thing is that I want to kind of talk about, we'll kind of look at it in-game news, as well as what they got on Reddit as well. But essentially what we're getting is a few things. The first, and probably the most important part, is we're getting Bahamut finally being released to global version. So with the ending of Chapter 1, or Season 1 of the story event in Final Fantasy Exvius, it was kind of expected that he's going to be the next part. So here he is, and with that we get the information on the rank being raised from 150 to 200, as well as our unit inventory cap being raised to 1500. So this is good and bad. The bad news about when they raise the inventory cap, in my opinion, is that they're anticipating you to hoard. Instead of kind of raising the rates, they're kind of being like, oh, it's okay, like here's 1500 more slots. Now you can have more units, so you don't feel as bad for pulling. It's kind of interesting. That's just my personal thoughts. You guys can let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. It's always cool to have extra slots for the right reasons, like having more space for cactars and like trust moogles, which we don't need anymore because they can fit into each other. I get it. There's certain points like that, but I'm just saying there's a little bit of a negative to it too. Just the way I feel, and it just comes at the time when we just find about 7-star units, where you're gonna have to pretty much hoard 5-star units now as well. Not that most of us were just fusing them or anything, but I'm just saying. It's just how it is. I'm confused. I'm sure you guys are confused too. It's hard. It's so hard. It's so hard right now. Alright, anyways, enough of the whining. Get it together, Vortie. Alright, so let's look at the stuff that's kind of coming out this week. So Chamber of Crystals is coming out, and it's coming out at a good time. For those of you who don't have enough crystals, make sure you pick them up so you can level up your Bahamut once you do get him. That is the #1 news right now in the world. The next one is Bahamut has arrived. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Bahamut is going to be here on Thursday after our update, as normal. So introducing Bahamut, the light which will reduce all to nil. Traverse the highly difficult dungeon to add a Bahamut to your party. His actual, when you summon him, is called Mega Flare. Non-elemental damage to all enemies. It hits really hard in the JP version, so I'm gonna assume it's gonna hit really hard in the global version. So essentially what they're saying is you got this dungeon you explore. So it says explore the dungeon and search for Shadow Bahamut. Defeat the Shadow Bahamut to get rat tails. Then you use the rat tails to challenge the Esper Bahamut. It says prove yourself unto me if you dare. Your blade shall feel the flames of the heavens. So they're saying here highly difficult, the realm of the Dragon Queen. It's an exploration event, and that kind of tells you here how to get it. So yeah, this is a fun part too. So I did a little bit of this in the JP version already, but the hard part here is that this dungeon is actually really hard. There's like these designated tent areas where you need to bring your tents and you can use them there. You can kind of save on the way up there. So it says this exploration map is very difficult and will take a long time to traverse. Be sure to take a tent along to establish a base along the way. So, that's what I'm saying by saving. So there are different ways to use tents. The adventurer at the edge of the realm will tell you more. So you gotta talk to what's her face at the end there, which is kind of cool. But overall, it's not a very easy event. The one thing I remember about this from the JP version is that as you're running around, you get surprise attacks. So if you guys have played other Final Fantasy games, you know a surprise attack is where the enemy actually strikes first, which means they... Normally in games you're facing backwards and they attack you from behind. Most of the time they hit harder because you don't block, you can't dodge, all that stuff, and they have a higher chance of critting depending which game you played. So in this game, in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, they could do something similar in that where they get the first attack. And these monsters are pretty strong, so you kind of want to make sure you bring your best party forward. So yeah, I don't really know what else I could say, but it's a difficult one. Make sure you come back here to the channel so we can kind of talk about it when it does come out. I will definitely be making a video through the whole process. Those videos are going to be a lot longer, more than likely, unless they really gimped it for the global version. But they're going to be real though. Like, you're going to see exactly how I am going to be moving through the event myself. So it's not going to be like cut and paste and stuff like that, what you see most of the time on YouTube, where it's like, you don't really know how long that person has tried. They could have been trying all day, and then they finally beat it. They're like, wow, look how easy it was. You're like, yeah, that sounds really cool. But then you tried with the same party, same items, you're nowhere near because there's a component of RNG to it. But don't worry, I'll definitely cover that here. We'll talk about different ways of beating it, and if there is an easier way to do it, I'll definitely show you guys how that's done. And then, hold on, there's more. So Halloween featured a summon, a limited time only. For this next part of the Halloween event, we're going to be getting the original Halloween units. So you have Demon Rain, Darcu, Laswell, White Witch, Conehead Fina, which doesn't have a cone head anymore, she's just got a white hat, and Black Cat Lid, which is kind of lame in the sense that they put Black Cat Lid back in here. She was in a banner just a second ago. Should have just removed her completely and just left the 3 banner units, White Fina, Demon Rain, and Darcu Laswell. Should have just kept it like that, or combined them all into one banner and just been like, here you go. Alright, the quick overview over this is Demon Rain and Darcu Laswell. There's not really big niche, big places for them. They have a couple of niches. Demon Rain is kind of like a counter tank, whatever. He can tank a little bit, do something like that. Overall, meh. Laswell fell off really quickly. Nobody ever uses him anymore. Meh. White Witch Fina, as you saw her enhancements, she's actually pretty good. She's like a mana battery and a healer. She heals percentages based of what's remaining, so it's not that bad. Black Cat Lid, you guys already know about her as well from the previous ones. So, looking at Demon Rain, he's a Demon Knight. What he is a tank, which is kind of what Rain kind of is normally. The only cool thing about him that I like is his Infernal Armlet. It's actually a really nice trust mastery. Other than that, I don't really find any particular use to him myself. With his enhancements, he can kind of do a little bit more damage, do a little bit more tanking, but overall, he just gets shadowed by everybody else. He just falls into the dust, he's gone. So looking at his featured abilities, Double Hand. Of course, Double Hand. Boost attack when armed with a one-handed weapon. While the other one is empty. Then you got Cerberus's Guard, chance to protect others while guarding. Demon's Revenge, greatly increased chance of countering. So that's why I said he's kind of like a counter tank. Next one is going to be Darcu Laswell. He's a vampire. Whereas the other guy's a Demon Knight. He's more of an attacker. His cloak is attack 20, magic 30, spirit 30, and enables evade. Evade, really good trust mastery again. Really, other than that, that's pretty much where I would say he's really good at. Again, just like Rain, he kind of gets defeated by the other units very quickly. He's not really useful for anything that I'm currently aware of. Probably in the future there's going to be some events where you're like, oh my god, wow, look how useful he is, but then after that he's not useful again anyways. So looking at his abilities, he's got a move called Bad Form, greatly decreases chance of being targeted. It's passive, Black Mist, consume caster's hit points to damage all enemies and adds chance of inflicting sleep. Damage and reduce attack, defense, and ice resistance for one enemy. After enhancements, this is actually pretty cool to put in a party with Frevia or other units that do a lot of ice damage. It gives you a pretty big ice imperil. I think it's like 70% once it's enhanced or something. So other than that, that's pretty much what he's good for. Pretty much using him to try and enhance other units to do more damage. But the Trust Mastery is good, don't get me wrong. Both of these guys' Trust Masteries are really, really solid. White Witch Fina, you guys already know. You know, she gets her enhancement, she's pretty good. If you never had her before, pick her up. Trust Mastery is meh, but overall she's a pretty good healer. She can also be a mana battery. And Black Cat Lid, you probably have lots of her because she's already in a previous banner. I would probably collect her. I wouldn't feed her into herself because of her trust mastery. It's actually pretty good. Getting a couple of these is actually really nice and really rewarding. And seeing how the limited units for events like Halloween and Christmas and stuff like that are going to be coming back. My advice is not to go super duper ham unless you really want one of them because of the way they look or something, or you really want it to fulfill a certain niche on your team. Then go for it. These units are going to be coming back every year back to back. So it seems like they're not really removing them. As you can see, this is the next time the Halloween event came around, and they brought new units plus the old units. Because think about it. Gumi is all about money, and they want those units to come back. So they're not limited units in the sense that you get them once and you never get them again. They're limited in event, so the event is limited. And kind of seeing from what they're doing in the JP version, it looks like they're doing something like this as well for events that they bring back. Like, for example, they're bringing back Dragon Quest, and it looks like they could be doing 2 banners from that as well. So we'll see how that unfolds once that event comes live. If it's going to be like 1 week you have the newest banner units, and then the second week they'll have both banners, and you can pick and choose what you want. Which is, I guess, cool, but also it helps relieve yourself of that whole like, oh my god, these guys are limited units, to more like, okay, you know, next year in Halloween I'll get it, next year Christmas I'll get it, or next time the event comes out, you know, in a couple of months I'm gonna have a chance to get my hands on that event again. Okay, so that's kind of the good stuff about it. So there you go. The second part of the Halloween event is coming. It's actually not too shabby. I have my trusty thing open here already. Let me see here. Ah, there it is. So it's on Reddit. They already have everything posted. If you're curious, you can go on Reddit. They're really good community for Final Fantasy Prep Exvius. They already posted the information about what's going on, where the stuff is coming out. But here's kind of like the breakdown of all of the trust masteries. Most of the stuff is old news, especially if you've been playing for a while. If you haven't, then you kind of like break apart to see which ones you like the most, if it's worth it for you or not. They talk about the Esper. The only thing that you guys want to make sure that in order to get Bahamut, you have to actually beat Chapter 7. After clearing up to Chaotic Darkness, the last part of Chapter 7, then you can tap on Downtown Zoldad, and you have to speak to a dude by the name of Evan. He will unlock the realm of the Dragon King on the world map for you when this goes live. So if you haven't completed the Chapter 7 yet, the Chaotic Darkness, then you're going to have to get up to that part in order to be able to see Bahamut. So make sure you get to that. The story is really good, and besides the story, if you are doing it, you should make sure you try and complete every mission on the way up, because it's very easy lapis. I mean, if you're struggling and you're a free-to-play player, there's no reason you shouldn't be doing all of them to get all that lapis. It's free, right, man? It's free. Yeah, they tell you here, use tents, bring equipment that enables you to escape and stuff like that, which is pretty good. Especially escaping battles, so that way you don't get to fight like smoke bombs and stuff. Rank is increased. We already talked about that. That's all good. Yeah. So overall, that's kind of the event that's coming out. Sorry, not an event. Like the next part of the story that's coming out. I believe the next portion of the story is gonna come out probably the 1st or 2nd week of November. Yeah, like 2nd week of November. I think that's when they're gonna release the next part of story, like Season 2, Part 1, or whatever you want to call it. And I expect that to come out right away, because right before that, then we're gonna have like the whole November, and then second we get into December, that's when things are gonna get crazy. We're gonna start getting prepared for like the Christmas and stuff like that, and New Year's. So things are gonna be ramping up pretty quickly up to that, and that like December month will it'll fly really quickly. So they're gonna be starting to kind of close the gap, to give a lot of things for people to do during Christmas, to kind of encourage them to spend money. So it's gonna be pretty cool for everyone, because there's gonna be lots of events coming out. Alright guys, let me know what you think about Bahamut. Are you guys excited the fact that Bahamut is here? How do you guys feel about the Halloween banners coming back and kind of giving both sides of the units? Are you guys cool with that? Do you think it's a cool idea? Do you want to see other events, like let's say like Nair, when they come back again, which they will, for them to bring new units plus old units? Or do you want them to focus more on bringing better units that are new that we've never seen? Alright guys, so let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious. My thoughts on this, I like this that they're bringing it back. It's unfortunate it's the Halloween event that they brought back. I mean, Demon Rain and Darcu Laswell didn't really mean much to me during the time when they came out originally, and even now, I don't know if I'm going to go for them. The only thing I like about them is their trust masteries. If I did get them, I'd be pretty happy, but other than that, Grimlord Sakura is like 100 times better for sure. Alright guys, so let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video. And this is Vortie, and I will see you guys on the other side. Hit like, hit subscribe, and all that goody stuff. I'm out of here. Peace!
Seethe.